Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I believe I had promised a number of videos ago I was going to be making an upcoming video series, just kind of unpacking my very mixed emotions, so many thoughts I'm having upon finding out NaNoWriMo has very sadly officially finally come to its end. And this is just going to be talking about my own personal history with doing Nano, how I found out about it, such like that, and my history with the website based off of two recent blog posts I have done. But if I look at the time after I get through with basing a video off of the first blog post and I see it's getting too much up there, I'm going to, save the second blog post about memories with the website for a second video. So let's just start getting down with it. I found out in early April, I believe it was like shortly after midnight or whatever, on the 4th of April, somewhere around there, that NaNoWriMo has officially finally folded after being in protracted death throes for quite some time. Like, if you're in the know about Nano, you know what that's all about. This news brought up so many mixed emotions, and it still doesn't seem quite real. For so long, I participated in the main event in November and the camp months of April and July in my local writing group back home in Albany, New York. We met every single month of the year, not just in the 3 Nano months. Well, I might have heard about Nano in the years before I began participating. I'm pretty sure I couldn't have avoided hearing about it, particularly because, I'm a writer. It obviously didn't make much of an impression on me. Then in 2010, this probably was somewhere in October. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. I do not have that much of an elephantine memory, believe it or not. An old friend from my estrogen who list, as we used to call them, because they were Yahoo groups for ladies, girls, teen girls, and women in their early 20s. We didn't really have many women older than that, female fans of the Who, and it was just such a wonderful different space from male dominated Who mailing lists. If you're a Who fan, you know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, this old friend posted on Facebook about Nano coming up and what she was thinking of working on, even if she didn't finish. I think she said she was maybe a trashy romance or something like that. I still friends with her on Facebook, and I also follow her on YouTube, but her channel isn't not really about writing. But anyway, getting on with it, I checked out the website, but decided it wasn't for me, since I misinterpreted the challenge as writing a book complete at only 50K. That's a drop in the bucket for me if you've read any of my books or watched any of my prior authortube videos. However, the spirit of Nano was exactly what I needed to finally return to my long hiatus book, Little Ragdoll. After being consumed by so much yearning recently, and even having dreams about it, and I have a video talking about behind the scenes of that particular book, one of the things I'm proudest of having written, one of the most personal books to my heart, I finally got off the fence already and began the second first draft on the 18th of November, 2010. The original discontinued first draft, as I've discussed many times, was presumed lost for over 16 years. That's a long story. And when I finally stumbled into opening the first of those two documents, the second is still, for all I know, can't be opened, but maybe I'll try again. But I was so thankful I hadn't had access to it while writing the new and improved first draft. I am not being hyperbolic or exaggerating at all when I say that was, it was like a Grimm's fairy tale on acid. There was no way I could have written around that or put gold on top of the garbage and the dirt. It I could not have salvaged even a halfway, even a quarter way decent story from that. It was just, wow, there are no words for how beyond. It was just really, really awful. I'm gobsmacked, but hey, I was only 13 when I wrote that. Because I started so late into the month, I didn't get to 50K. It's kind of predictable, but I certainly did write well over that total. During the following full months, I worked on it. The first draft was 397K. No, that's not a typo. That actually was the final word count. And I finished it on the 16th of February, 2010. I believe the final word count for I think it's I did a second edition, not too many changes, just a few little things here and there. But anyway, I think the final word count is somewhere around 330K, maybe 350K. One of those two numbers thereabouts in that general ballpark, not counting the front and back matter. So yeah, I really naturally tend towards writing long books, deliberately saga length, door stoppers. But you definitely, if I had started Nano on the 1st of November that year, unofficially or not, I definitely would have gone well past 50K within those 30 days. In 2011 and 2012, I did the same thing, respectively starting on the 9th of November and the 5th of November, but again, not writing as an official NaNo participant or keeping track of my word count. I mean, I have separate chapter files, so I know for when I added them back later, but I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm counting up every day. This is what I wrote today, and that's what I wrote this week. And in 5 days, I was doing whatever, like a 10K streak or something like that. It's just like I was not deliberately keeping track, just like I happened to be writing in November. And in November 2013, I was in the thick of writing Journey Through a Dark Forest and having lots of computer troubles besides. I had to get a new computer during that month, but though I still have the older computer around, if I don't really need to get on it too much these days. So I didn't get much of any writing done. I retroactively, honestly added those projects and their November word counts to the website. I finally bit the bullet and joined the challenge officially in November 2014, almost at the last minute. I don't mean like the last minute, like at the last day of November. I mean like around midnight or whatever on Halloween. Like, so basically like November was almost upon us. Like, hey, now or never, why not do it? Once again, I was yearning for a long hiatus project to the point of having dreams about it, and NaNo seemed the perfect time to start over. I believe I go into that a little bit more in detail on my video I did about and Alexei lived, an alternative history about the rule of Tsar Alexei II in Russia. You guys can check that video out. I have a playlist called, all about my own books. Around halfway through the month, I went to a write-in at Professor Java's, an awesome cafe/coffee house in Colony, New York, then located in what used to be someone's house. It is now in a shopping. Plus, I've not lived in the area since they relocated, but like hopefully it's still as awesome as it always was. With the local writing group, I was warmly welcomed, and everyone loved that I was working on an alternative history about the Russian imperial family, particularly two of the ladies in the group who like had a existing like special interest in the Romanovs. We met every Sunday night at Denny's, with the whole back room to ourselves. And Tuesdays at Professor Java's, we also had like one of the rooms all to ourselves. There were some really cool like old masks on the wall from, I guess, like, like Africa and Asia, like whoever owned the house or like bought it, whatever, they were a collector. So this was like really a cool vibe they added to it. And I just loved going to Professor Java's. But the one caveat we had to order a certain amount of like not produce, just like food from the cafe, the coffee house, to qualify for that back room all to ourselves. So if we didn't meet the minimum, our MLs, our head ML would have to like, buy a little bit extra, like usually desserts or something for going for the road or taking to her buddies at work. But it was like a really fun arrangement. I'm just like having so many happy memories, like just thinking back on this right now. All the regulars became fast friends, and we had so much fun at our write-ins and the TGIO at Professor Java's. Sometimes I think we also had a TGIO at Denny's, but I'm not really sure the details so much time later. Even better, the weekly write-ins continued every month of the year, not just in November, though we only met at Denny's during non-NaNo months. And sometimes I was like so into it. I would go to Professor Java's even when we weren't having a write-in, just so I could like eat some nice food there and get my writing down. Or sometimes I would arrive ahead of the group at Professor Java's. It's just I can't really explain, if you're not a writer, what it means to have that kind of connection to your writing community. And that's why like my writing and many other people's writing routines, writing in general, it suffered when NaNo Brass decided, let's just shut down everything for 2 years because of COVID, because, that's like a whole thing off topic, but it just really messed a lot of people up. We were more than just a writing group, but a circle of friends. Unlike the NaNo group I participated with after I left New York, we had so many conversations between sprints and truly got to know one another. My experience with the other writing group wasn't what I would truly call bad, and I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone. They all seemed like, good people. I got words done, but it's just a completely different experience. But it felt rather cold emotionally. Like people were only there to sprint and cared less about the other participants. I mean, I kind of felt like someone thought I was an idiot when I posted on the new group's Facebook page, like, can we write somewhere else in the library or something so we can talk? And and he just told me all the information I already knew about where the write-ins were. Like he didn't understand the concept, but I wanted to become friends with people, like talk about other things between the sprints. Not, I'm starting a sprint. Time. Tell me all your word counts. I'm going to hand out goodies to the person who got the highest number of words in this sprint. Go, time, go, time. And it was just so completely alien to me, and it reinforced my sense of isolation from the whole writing community. And then they just felt like they were only there to sprint, and they cared less about the other participants, just like rather cold emotionally. A few times we did late night write-ins at a local homeschooling co-op. Two of our members used for their kids. This is back home in New York. We brought our own food and drink, though there were also group snacks like apple cider donuts and M&Ms, and food from the co-op kitchen we could buy on the honor system. And being, a homeschooling co-op for kids, we could also, the beanbag chairs, I believe they had, and they had like a library full of fun books. I recognized some of them from when I was a child myself, like 40 Presidents, Facts, and Fun, which I memorized the presidents from the old-fashioned way when I was 8. Not that sorry, not sorry, stupid song kids these days think, oh, OMG, Jack or Jane, they know all the presidents, and they proceed to sing a stupid mnemonic song. That's not memorizing all the presidents. Like, it's not using your brain the way mine is, memorizing them the old-fashioned way. But anyway, rant over. That's one of my pet peeves. The waitress who was assigned to us at Denny's, I believe her name was Michelle, when I joined, became our friend too. An unofficial member. We even met her 4 girls when they came sometimes. Her replacement, Mike, got to know us so well. He'd start making our usual orders the moment he saw us come through the door. He was an awesome waiter. He's no longer at Denny's. I think he went to, what is it called, Outback Steakhouse, some kind of steakhouse he moved to after I left New York, and some of the people in the group happened to see him there, and he was doing well, getting paid better than he had at Denny's. So if he's still doing a waiter thing, I hope he goes for the best. But hopefully by this point he's he has a better job than just being a waiter. He's awesome. I hope he goes places. There were also Sunday nights we had to meet virtually because of unsafe travel conditions, like upstate New York being what it is in the winter, and times we had to move to another restaurant or go home early because of power outages. I'm one of many members who remained registered with that region after leaving the area. Since we're so attached to our friends and the awesome community, I had to, ask special permission from the ML, the head ML of the region I moved to. Later, can I be in you guys' Facebook group, even though I'm not officially registered? I still, registered back home. And she said, yeah, totally cool. So now I'm going to go through the memories of the old website. It's only about 12 minutes or so. A big part of the community feeling of NaNoWriMo was its website, where we could connect with fellow writers from all over the world, find our home region, learn about local events, get advice and encouragement, and track our progress in fun ways. It was such a fun challenge before, all these politics and making it we're raising money for the nonprofit, all that kind of stuff got involved. It was just writing, having fun. So the word tracker they had in the old days, it was it might look primitive by modern internet standards, but there was no need for special bells and whistles when all we needed to do was keep track of our progress over the month. I would be putting screenshots in the thumbnail. I don't know if I'll be doing any editing or whatever, but it would say your average per day, and it would be in the green if you got it or went above, or I think it would be in the red if you didn't make it, words written today, target word count, target average words per day, total words written, and it would say winner in a purple bar if you got it, words remaining, current day, days remaining, goal achieved on, words per day to finish on time, and then lifetime achievement, your Nano word count. And I just love the sweet way it worked, and the modern it did have a lot of those details in different places and in different ways, but it just wasn't the same. It wasn't all grouped in one sidebar. It was just all over that page, and it just overall I didn't like the cold clinical look. It's kind of like when I see real estate videos, they all look like dentist's office, particularly with the open concept, oh wow, gray walls or white walls, oh, dentist office furniture, oh wow, that's just so emotionally inviting. I really want to live in a home like that. Oh no I don't. The updated interface told us far fewer things, which made it feel so much less fun. It also followed, sorry not sorry, the annoying trend of website developers making everything look like a mobile device. Bad move. How many people use Nano on anything but a desktop? Seriously, maybe you used it on an iPad or something like that, but at least that's a larger screen than a damn phone. And again, I'm pretty sure you want your interface to still look desktop like when if you are using an iPad to write. Like if I use the internet on the phone, I want it to look differently than a computer and vice versa. The only change I liked was the cute animal corresponding to our typical writing time. I almost always got the owl, like kind of like a teal on the right side and a purple on the left side. Hoot hoot, you're a night owl. You write the most between 11 o'clock p.m. and 12 o'clock a.m. And a few times I got the flamingo with the sun and the clouds. What's up, midday flamingo? You write the most between 6 o'clock p.m. and 7 o'clock p.m. I would have to look through my collection of screenshots I took from the NaNo website over there. Yes, I'm that kind of person. I like, just collecting memories of the website like that. I have like so many different folders from like NaNo by each year, and including like the camp nanos for each year. But I might have gotten the animal for earlier in the day a couple of times, but that's weird. I am not a morning person at all. For a few years, there was a graphing feature. It was so fun called Faces of NaNo, where we could chart our progress against the other people in our home region. That gave me the competitive push to get my word count as high as possible and let me know when I was falling behind the other members. We were grouped into categories based on how well or poorly we were doing for the word count we were supposed to be achieving each day, with fun accompanying pictures and messages to cheer us on. Like there was, I know I took a screenshot of it, but I can't find which of my many folders it's in. Like someone in an astronaut suit, like, hey, is everything okay? You're falling into the galaxy, like help, your word count needs resuscitating, something like that. But the one I did manage to find and sort of in this post, it's some kind of space station out in deep space. Keep on writing. Your elusive ending, the grand finale to your novel, is out there with its fire extinguisher trying to find you. Go out and get it, celebrate finding it, and then bring it home. Before 2019, we had to copy and paste our full document into a validator to certify a win. This inevitably took away some words based on not all software counting words in the same way. For example, on Pages, which I currently use, it counts words with a hyphen as one word, even if it's like a compound word, like for example, matter of fact, that's 3 words most people would say, but nope, the hyphen means it's it's one single word. So when I'm putting it in the, what do you call it, the master word count folder, I would, if I remembered, hopefully I would put spaces between each hyphen and then take the spaces out in my own document for separate chapter files and such. And so anyway, because not all software would count words in the same way, I always had to make sure to have a cushion of a few hundred words over before entering. And I've also used Word to type for NaNo, but most of the time I've been doing it, I used Pages. I would then re-enter the correct total in the tracker after locking in the win. After the website update, it was all honor system, no more validator. That took away a lot of the fun and excitement and the drama, the tension, the anticipation. We still got the congratulations screen with a short video message from the NaNo board and some of their volunteers, and winner goodies or offers for the goodies after hitting 50K, but it wasn't quite as dramatic. However, the validator wasn't free from cheating, and I'm not outing someone, as I will say, she outed herself. In 2014, an older woman in my writing group, Julie, freely admitted she copied and pasted her 30K work in progress into it twice on the last night just to get a win, when we were all at Denny's and it was coming towards midnight. And she even publicly admitted this in a blog post. She refused to believe none of us had ever cheated. She was even asking us, have you done this? No, admit it. Have you done this? In our main ML, Shannon's oh, I can't believe Julie cheated. And she thought we had all cheated at some point. And then we laughed about that for, quite some time. Another fun event was 30 days, 30 covers, where we wrote a brief synopsis of our work in progress in the message boards in the hopes of being chosen for a free cover created by one of the NaNo artists. I was never chosen, but it was nice to see the covers that were created based on the story descriptions. Thanks to a helpful person on the research message board, I was able to correctly transcribe the names of all the Polish cities mentioned in the radio announcement of the start of World War II, which I've used in 2 of my books so far. I couldn't have identified all of those names and spellings by myself, and I consider myself a Polonophile, a general Slavophile. I'm familiar with Polish spellings and names and cities and such, but he was I just couldn't have got it the way he was, like, speaking so fast. And sometimes you can't, like, guess at the spelling or, like, find it even when you're, like, looking on Wikipedia for names of Polish cities. So the good job that a Polish speaking person. Thanks for helping me. I also found the Serbian and Croatian nickname form of Cleopatra, Klepa, on the boards. That's an extremely, like, rare name in the languages of the former Yugoslavia, but it definitely did exist. It has been used on some girls and women over the years, and so I couldn't find a nickname for it because it's just not a common one, like Anna or Maria or Yelena, Yelizaveta or something like that. So, like, good on that person. Thanks for helping me. And that's one of the things I just loved about NaNo. We were like a warm, connected writing community all over the world. Camp NaNo used to have a separate website, which was awesome, where we were in cabins and could see our collective progress. We could set our own word count goals and also had the option of editing a certain number of pages or working for a certain number of hours instead of just like, oh, I want to write like 20K in July, or in April I'm only doing 10K because I'm like busy this month. I love the camp graphics modeled after a real summer camp and how we could have ongoing group chats through the month. Camp became so much less fun when that website merged with the main NaNo one and cabins disappeared. Everyone just felt so much more connected on the old websites, and the mood was friendlier, more emotionally warm, focused on writing. Like, imagine that, a writing challenge. It's all about words instead of divisive politics and virtue signaling. I will get into that more in the future videos. We were a community who cared about one another. So thank you guys very much for watching all the way through to the end. Let me know down in the comments, what are your own memories of NaNo? How did you begin participating? Did you know about it but never participate? Did you only find out? Apparently, a lot of writers thought they didn't realize NaNo was actually an organized real thing. They thought it was just something people did, like No Shave November for guys. So just let me know your memories and thoughts and feelings, whatever, about NaNo down in the comments. And like, I will see you guys again soon in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.